So I'm a diagnosed narcissist, and before I was diagnosed, there was a lot of things that I thought were normal that actually weren't. So here are 5 things that I thought everybody did that it was actually just me. One, I thought that nobody had empathy and everybody was faking it. I thought empathy was like this thing that everybody pretended to have just because everyone knew society would function better if we pretended to care about other people's feelings, which sounds kind of ridiculous when I say it out loud, but that was how I rationalized it. 2, I felt like everybody knew that there was people who were better than and worse than, and everyone was just pretending to ignore that. Like it felt like it was so obvious to me that there was better than and worse than people. And to ignore that, I just thought, oh, I guess they're trying to be polite. They're trying to make the lesser than people feel better. It wasn't until I was diagnosed that I realized that the hierarchy was just part of my pathology. 3, I thought everyone just did things for personal gain or status. Like, I would often go out of my way to help people, and to this day I still do. But a large motivation in that is for them to like me more, or for me to look better in other people's eyes. And I just thought that's the only reason anybody did that. Nowadays, I still struggle to believe people who are doing altruistic acts without any recognition. That blows my mind that happens. 4, I thought everyone was in a constant battle to prove that they're better than other people. Any comment somebody made that was positive about themselves or negative about somebody else, I thought all of it was made with a purpose of advocating for themselves and making themselves look better than everyone else. And it's weird because a lot of my communication kind of revolved around this game of mental chess that I was kind of imagining in my head. And even nowadays, I'm still suspicious of it. It's like, what are you even doing if you're not trying to basically self-promote? And 5, I thought nobody else was self-aware enough to recognize that they were doing these things. I literally thought most of my life that I was just smarter than everybody else, and that's why I could recognize that I was doing these things and everyone else was doing the same things, but just was not self-aware enough to know. Which is hilarious given the fact that, I was not self-aware enough to know that this was part of my disorder and not just the way the world functioned, and I was that deluded. I looked at the world as a math equation that it felt like only I had figured out, and everybody else wanted the same results as me, but weren't competent enough to find them. And eventually I realized that it wasn't that they couldn't find the same results that I wanted, it was that the results they were looking for wasn't status and prestige, it was actual connection. And I think that is the most daunting thing for me to realize.